So I'm getting ready to finish this board, and I've had problems in the past with my boards coming out warped, so I wanted to check the blades on this before I finished it, and I just replaced or rotated this one. I didn't see any problems, but rotated it to the clean side just in case. And as you can see here as an example, I usually look as a guide at the amount of blade sticking out relative to the blade holder, or whatever the fancy name is for this part. So the blade, this little edge, that little edge right there on top, the amount sticking out of the blade next to the blade holder. And as you can see, this one's nice and uniform all the way across. It was before I rotated it, so not many big change there. But when I rotate over to the other side, you can see on the end got a little bit more sticking out than I remember noticing on the other side. And as I get to the middle, almost nothing sticking out at the middle. And then again, a little sticking out of the edge. So this one definitely needs to be rotated, at least, maybe replaced. And I think I can kind of see how it looks a little bit more like the sharp edge here. This is the sharp edge. Is a little bit more worn in the middle and a little newer on the edges. And I'm no scientist, I haven't read a lot of reports, but I mean, most of us run our stuff right through the middle, so it makes sense to me that the blade would wear out in the middle first. Just realized my video isn't running while I replaced this one, and just got it off to check, and you can see a nice little fairly consistent edge. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. And I get to the other side and I can see how it's sticking out more, so something's not aligned. Don't know if it's the blade or the installation, so definitely got to check that. Alright, I've just taken out the bolts again, loosened everything up, and in case you've never done this, let me just quickly demonstrate that the way this works is that your blade sits here on this piece, whatever it is, and it's not connected to anything. It just lays there flat, and it's important that that piece be really clean, otherwise that could move it aside. So I just lay this here. This is going to be kind of hard for me to do with one hand. But then I get the blade, I don't know what you call this thing, retainer, guide, brace, lock, whatever. And I'm going to put it on here, and what it does is it has these two little nubs here and here that are going to key into these two little holes in the blade, there and there. And then these little spots in the back are going to line up with these holes in the back here, and that's what's going to lock everything in and align it. So I don't know if I can do that two hands, so let me pause this. Right, so I just laid that on there. It's not quite in place, and I'm just going to move it around. There you go. Just move it around, and I feel for it to kind of click in place. Now the blade and the blade guard, the blade locking piece are locked in, and it still slides around sideways a little. Back ones don't engage super well, but once you get in the first one or two of some bolts, then it will lock it all in place. So I get these in by hand, and then I tighten them up just till they're snug. I don't tighten them at all, and then I hand tighten them with a screwdriver so I can make sure they're all the same torque, since my hand is such a finely tuned instrument. Make sure they're all exactly the same. And I don't know how much it matters, but I tend to like to tighten them kind of like lug nuts on a car in a pattern, so sometimes I'll start here and then go here and back and forth, or I'll do like every other one and then go back, something like that. But I don't know, I feel smart when I do it, so let's hope it's a good way to do it. Okay, that's all adjusted. Got this turned down at an angle, and I think now it's pretty clear. We can see that we have the same amount of the top of the blade sticking out all the way across, so that should give me a perfectly flat finish.